Today, in honor of a man who absolutely loved the Calgary Flames and had a passion for them and would look for the good in so many situations, I thought, let's run down a few Flames that we're just stoked about for the upcoming season. It's not, oh, well, they live up to expectations. It's not, oh, is it this? Oh, what about fit? Oh, but draft pick, whatever. No, today, we're just going to go in and we're just going to look at three guys that I'm just stoked to see where the Flaming Sea or Blasty, although I don't think they're doing Blasty. Either way, going to get to see these guys at the Dome this upcoming season. Let's talk about players we're excited about on the Calgary Flames. Again, doing this in honor of Peter Maher, who loved his Calgary Flames and was very passionate about them and saw the bright side in a lot of things. So this will be the only negative thing I will say in this exercise. Because I thought about this and I wanted to put this together, and then actually running through it all, I could only get to 3. So we'll just ignore that part and just focus on the we're excited about these guys part. All right, let's just not think too hard about how there's only 3 that I could just unabashedly come up with right away. But number 3 on the list is... Excuse me, I'm choked up about it. Number 3 on the list is Simon Nemec. New guy in town, big trade, and so it's just fun, especially with where the Flames are at. You know, because, they're doing it for the right reasons. They need to be doing it. There's no question about it that they need to be doing it. But a lot of the Flame stuff has been people getting sold off, right? Like it's Kadri's on his way out the door and Coleman's on his way out the door and this guy and that guy and Weegar and Anderson and all of that. And there are some people coming back at times, but they're not the big parts of the trade or anything like that. And so sometimes it's just fun that a good NHL player got traded back to your team. With all due respect to Oli Mata, it's fun to have a guy just winding up back on your team, and that was the big part of the deal, and you got the big guy in the deal. And then also, with it, I'm just excited to see where he fits. I'm excited to see how Nemec can play with more responsibility and with more zone time provided to him. I'm really, really, really excited to see what Nemec can do with this Flames team and what kind of the ceiling is for him and how it changes the dynamic of things on this Calgary Flames team. So I'm excited to see Nemec. He is my number 3. At number 2, I'm going Zane Parekh. The dude is he is lightning out there. He is so, you watch him at the World Juniors. If we can just ignore the first part of his time with the Flames, watch him at the World Juniors and just see how damn exciting that guy is with the puck on his stick. And then you see it start to get a little bit better. And you start to get a little bit better. And then he's putting spin moves on guys. And now he's putting pucks on the net. Now he's putting pucks in the net. You're starting to see everything that we wanted this kid to be. And now he has a full offseason, understanding all of that, getting ready for this next upcoming year. How can you not? How can you not be excited to watch Zane Parekh on the Calgary Flames for however many games we get him this season? I was going to say 82, which would still mean he missed 2 because we're now doing 84. But however many games Zane Parekh is on the Flames, I'm going to be excited. This is the most exciting player, I think, just from he does fun things on the ice standpoint that we've had in a while with the Flames. But number 1 for me is Matvei Gridin. I have been gushing about him a lot in these little preview videos that we've done leading up to the start of the season, but I just think of how young he was coming into the league. And you think about it, when he got called up, it was an injury replacement, and it was just, okay, he's going to be here for a couple of weeks, and then I might have even said this on the radio, he's going to be here for a couple of weeks, and then he's going to get sent down. And we're going to be upset about it, but it's just a numbers game, and you want him to get that number 1 line time in the American Hockey League. So he's going to come up here for a cup of coffee, we're going to be excited about it, going to be a nice little boost for a couple of weeks, and then he's going to go back down, and we're all going to be really mad about it. And then he just stayed, and he stayed, and he stayed. And then Huberdeau's hip fell apart, and then he was here for the rest of the year. He made himself undeniable. And so you have all of that experience, all that confidence being gained, an offseason to build on it, and now a full training camp, not to try to make the team, but to get acclimated with your line mates, to get comfortable back up at game speed and to be ready to just jump on that treadmill and start running for the NHL season. So I think, again, he has a skill set that no one else on this forward group has right now. He has an electricity to him that only a couple on the entire team have, and I'm just stoked to see what this guy can do. So those are my three guys that I'm really excited about for the Flames this upcoming season. A couple other ones here in the YouTube chat. We got Mace Taggart saying, Brustevich, Gridin, and Carroll's in April, Pete. Yeah, like Carroll's, I'm with you. Like that whole group coming up at the end of the college season, whenever that happens, right? Like, it's funny. A lot of people, you want your prospects to do well, right? It'd be fun to watch the Frozen Four and all of that and have Flames representation all over the place. It'd also be kind of neat if they just gigantic upset and they're eliminated right away, because I want to see these guys in the Flames a little bit earlier. But whenever they do come, you're right. Like Carl's probably the big one, the first round pick from this year, hearing all about how awesome this dude's going to be. Let's just get him in the system. Same thing with Reshny and Wittenbach and all of that. Like just all of those guys, that could probably be just a category unto itself here, Mace. Just having those guys, like the college kids, as number 4 on this list, because just so excited about where they're going to be. Yeah, Connor, Reshny, Potter, Wittenbach in April, getting those guys in, just seeing what it's like, getting that excitement back in with this, because that has been missing. You know, it's nice that they're doing it the right way. And none of this is criticizing what they're doing, by the way. It's just nice that they are back doing this the way that they're supposed to be doing it, but it leads to some not great stuff, right? You get upset because people are winning games, and you're getting upset because, well, this guy's not getting the ice time, and this guy's not getting hey, what can this guy do? Well, maybe he's a third liner. But now you're getting like genuine first-round draft picks getting called up. Guys who are winning trophies and scoring titles at collegiate levels. And people who we're talking about as future captains of the team. Now they're coming up. This is the fun part of the rebuild. I mean, the most fun part is when it's totally built and you win a Stanley Cup. But this is the fun part of the rebuild, is all these kids coming up and getting to see all that excitement again. It's just nice to have things to look forward to instead of, boy, hope they get a first-round pick in this trade. Necessary, kind of fun, not as fun as when all these guys are going to be coming up. So that's it, 100%. BBJ403 saying, if Carls and Reshny make it far, then they might not make it to the NHL this season. Yeah, we need a nice balance of the kids do pretty well at the collegiate level, but maybe not too well, because I want to see them this season. So, very selfish of me. I understand that. I like this one from Connor. Sneaky one to be excited about is Ball. I think people forget that he took a big step from year 1 to year 2 with carrying the puck and shooting in his skating. He's always been solid, but what's next? I honestly, Connor, I had that exact thought like 45 minutes ago when I was putting all of this together and just thinking of like different guys. Because Ball, when he came in, it was, yeah, solid third pair guy, not going to be a whole lot, is what he is. Someone will pass him and he'll get sent down or traded away, or he's going to end up in Russia at some point. And then it's, okay, we got a top 4 guy here. Just a solid dude. But look who he's playing with. He's going to be, he eventually that's going to get past. But you're right, he just keeps getting better and he keeps elevating. Like he was the genuine number 1 on this team. I don't know if he's number 1 on a championship team or anything like that, but he was a genuine number 1 on this team. And he took, you're right, a huge step from year 1 to year 2. If he takes another big step, like, I mean, there's only so far you can go from jumping up to top defenseman on this team. I think that there's a lot there that he can still kind of figure out, and there can be some growth. And the thing that you like is he obviously works at his craft, right? Like, you hear guys talking about how they eat, sleep, breathe hockey. I think this dude actually does. He is looking for ways to get better and trying to improve himself. So if he can take another even mini step this year, that's 100% right, Connor. I'm excited about it. BBJ, this is a good point too. If Ball plays with Nemec, he'll probably just have to sit back and cover for Nemec. That's fair. And yeah, like, we're not going to see all the rushes that Nemec would do. I think sometimes we can overstate that as fans. Just because, like, yes, he is going to have to be the steady rock there if Nemec is going to be flying all over the place. That doesn't mean he just has to sit back in his own end and wait, though, right? Like, he's still going to be able to be involved in things. They're still going to need him to move the puck. It's not like he's going to get the puck on his side and, well, have to get it to Nemec, so fire it across. He's allowed to do those things, too. It's just, yeah, it will be maybe a little bit more of a muted version of it, but I still think there is going to be room for him to create this season. And I think that's also going to be one of the things we talked about a few weeks ago, how Ryan Huska fits into this whole scenario is you need to now let guys maximize what they have offensively. Like being able to sit back and do the defensive thing, that's neat, that's great. But there is a little bit more to be had offensively and a little bit more to be had creativity. I'm not saying that Ball's going to look like Parekh, but I would like to see him with the reins loosened just a little bit to see if there is maybe a little bit more there. So I think that, yes, like he is going to be, of the guys on his pair, he's going to be the much more chill one and the much more responsible one. But I mean, it's like a night out with your friends. The responsible one, unless they're driving, but the responsible one, if you guys are planning on ordering an Uber after, the responsible one is holding your hair and making sure like puke isn't going everywhere. But they're toasty. They're involved in the night as well, right? That's what this, I think, could be. Where like he's not going to be, I'm just drinking waters all night, but he's also not going to be like, oh man, this one is called the death bomb, better order 5 shots of that. Like, he's going to be somewhere in the middle of that while Nemec can go out and get his party on. Really forced analogy, especially from a 36-year-old who hasn't been out in a really long time in that way. But I think you kind of get the point that I'm trying to get at there. So, hey, look at that. Like, I talked about, there's only 3 guys to be excited about. And we stumbled on some other ones. And also Connor here, Cooley, was a great one. Was that one great year? Or is he legit like Vladar? Yeah, like, he's also just a weird dude. So I'm excited to see the different ways that he just perceives the world and everything that goes into that. But you're right, like he had a great year 1. Then he goes to the Worlds. He went to Switzerland for the World Hockey Championship. Like that's a really cool life experience that he had. So now what does that mean for him? And then also to it, Dustin Wolf. I know the goalie kind of gets the bit of the bad rap in the rebuild because if he's doing well, then the rebuild stuff doesn't get to progress as quickly because you want to lose and get better draft picks. But as exciting as a goalie can be in net and not be just insane, like Peter Maher flopping all over the place, Dustin Wolf's pretty exciting, and exciting to see that next level if he can take another step with a defense that isn't the one that he played behind a couple of years ago, but has improved, I think probably pretty vastly improved from the defense that he was playing behind to end the season last year, where Olli Mata's getting 25 minutes, right? So I'm excited to see Wolf too, and see where he gets to. Mace Taggart saying, Pete, I'm telling you right now, Mace has been on this for a little bit. I'm telling you right now, seriously, 90 to 97 points this season. Guys know they're playing for their jobs, and in a draft year of centers, they'll overachieve. Shake my head, Pete. I am still going to take the under on 97. I'll take the under on 92. Like that's 90's a bit much. I do think there is going to be a little bit of that, right? Because it's what happened a couple of years ago. The identity of this team is always going to be they're going to work hard. And when it's January and the teams are just kind of looking ahead and they're making the playoffs, they're not giving it everything they have. They're kind of in fuel conservation mode to sprint to the end. You can steal some wins in there. And this Flames team is going to be looked past. I think like they caught teams off guard a couple of years ago. Teams were more ready for them last year. And now I think there will be some teams that kind of ease up on it. So could I see a world where this team gets to 80, 82 points? Yes, I could. I don't know if the playoffs are as much of a threat as Mace maybe necessarily believes, but I can you can squint and see where that would happen, right? And I think part of it would come from progression that is actually good. You know, like it's not just this guy comes in and they're working really hard and they win 2-1. You're now at the point where you've cleared out Kadri, you've cleared out Coleman, you've cleared out all of that, and I think that you could see where like before when it was a couple of years ago. It was Huberdeau had a pretty good year. And Kadri had a really good year. And it was Weegar and it was Anderson and it was those guys, Coleman and Backlund. And those guys really kind of helping out to carry that load. If they do that again this year, the only veterans that you're really like, oh my gosh, well, this guy's taking a spot, is like Backlund, kind of, and like Whitecloud. But again, Whitecloud's going to be around for a couple more seasons. But aside from that, like, if Farabee's doing it, Farabee's here for a bit. But if they're progressing and actually moving up in the standings and actually playing like that, it's the kids now. sorry, just got a thing that something got interrupted. So I hope everything is all right. If you guys could let me know how things are going online, that would be great. Hopefully didn't just lose everyone there. But either way, interrupted there for a second. But for this team, if they're doing that, if they are getting to Mace's thought and they're at at 90 points, they're getting there because it's the kids. Like there's not one way that Michael Backlund is carrying this team to 90 points. There isn't a hope in hell that Zach Whitecloud is carrying this team to 100 points. Like that's not happening. If they're getting there, it is because Gridin stepped up. It's because Coronado is scoring again. It's because Connor Zary figured out how to play hockey again. It's because Sharon Govich is scoring. It's because the kids came in from college and did their thing. It's because someone from the AHL stepped up. It's because Parekh, Nemec, Ball, Brustevich maybe, Kuznetsov maybe, some of those guys took steps forward. So would it be beneficial for this team to suck this year? Abso-freaking-lutely it would. It's a draft stacked with centers, and even toward the top of it, some guys who are the exact game changer that this team is looking for. So, in the long-term build of this team and trying to progress through to where they want to get to, it is so beneficial for these guys to just be cheeks this year, and for that to be the way the season goes. Ping pong balls go their way, ba-boom! Number one center, and then you can hit the ground running, I think, with this team. But there are enough young pieces here that if that scenario plays out, and if they're getting there, again, maybe you're not going to be able to draft that center, but I think overall it will still be a positive thing for this team. And if this young group is able to, if it looks sustainable, right? Like if it's the Findaway Flames and they're coming back from a bunch and they're getting outshot 43-15, but Dustin Wolf makes 41 saves and the puck happened to bounce in off of Klapka a couple of times, then no, don't do this. But if this team is legitimately improving and battling their way to, okay, of course these guys are going to play like this again, then maybe you do have to look at external options by way of like trade to bring in that number one center. So I can see where you're at on this, Mace, and I would be lying if I said the thought hadn't really popped in my way, but I do think that is going to be what that is. Yeah, 100%. I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be all right. Connor saying it's not just a couple of years. It's not just a couple of years ago. The Flames do the opposite of their expectation in the preseason, going back to Hartley. That's fair. That was always the thing with the Johnny era, right? Because they would have this rough stretch. It wouldn't go very well, and then no one had any expectations for them. We would look at, maybe you just got to, maybe the core's not great. You got to trade Johnny. And then there'd be the other side saying, well, you can't trade him. His value's at his lowest. And then expectations would be low. This team would come in. All of a sudden, Elias Lindholm is the greatest goal scorer ever. Or even going back a little bit further, all of a sudden, Yuri Hudler is the best third guy on a first line that this team has had in the history of its existence, and they're off and they're making the playoffs. But then they're the number one seed, and then they get shit whipped. But then expectations are high, and you're looking at it like, okay, expectations are high, but maybe you trade Johnny because it's not going to work. And the other side would be like, are you crazy? The guy just got heart votes. Like he's performing out of his mind. You couldn't possibly. And then the season would come. There'd be expectations. They would absolutely shit the bed. And we'd have this whole conversation over again. It was always, I think it's part of how this team got stuck in the middle, is that there was never a direction that was obvious. And you never wanted to sell on some of your big pieces at their absolute lowest value, but once they got up to their biggest value, they're tantalizing enough that you don't want to get rid of them because look how good they're playing. And so they got caught in that cycle constantly for the entire time Johnny was here, basically. And obviously Johnny's the focus of it, but Monahan and Kachuk and all those guys too. That just became such a thing with them. May saying they're going to score Gridin 87 points, Frost 75, Coronado 74. The chemistry is so much better since Kadri left. If Gridin, first of all, 87 and 74 are incredibly specific numbers. But if Gridin gets 87 points, I don't care what happens record-wise for the Flames. If they finish tied for the last playoff spot again and don't make it in the playoffs, if Matvei Gridin is at 87 points and Matt Coronado is at 74 points, then next season is a gigantic success. I am not like we make fun of, oh, you put up a banner for the NBA in-season tournament and all that stuff. That is the closest I would come to throwing a parade for a non-championship team. I would honestly consider the Matvei Gridin has 87 points and Matt Coronado had 74 points parade if that happened. Because then it's like, okay, we got something here. And with Reshny and the rest of them coming up, that would be gigantic. So I hear you. Like the chemistry, I think, could take a step. And I think Frost, we talked about how important he is this season. If he is playing awesome with those guys, then you just sign him to whatever contract and you roll with it. Because he's established that he can be someone who can get the most out of those players. So, yes, that would, from a draft standpoint, that would be catastrophic. But from a development of the team standpoint, I would have a tough time thinking that's a bad thing. So there's that. So anyway, keep the Flames talk coming. This is way more Flames than I thought I would talk about today. There were some people tuning in thinking they were getting NFL, and we've gone 40 minutes talking about the Calgary Flames in August. So absolutely love it. Keep them coming. I'm going to pivot to something else here in a sec, but whatever you guys want to talk about, throw them in the chat. Also, if you missed it before, we've made partner here with Couch Potato Diary on the YouTube channel now. So, accepting super chats, accepting the super thanks and all of that. There's membership stuff there. I am admittedly still figuring out all of those things, but we are going to be doing some members only videos and streams and chats and some of that when it gets going. Not going to interrupt the regular stuff. He says the regular stuff after taking 2 weeks off, but not going to interrupt the regular stuff. Everything that has been free will likely stay free. We're not going to do anything that way. I'm just coming up with like different bonusy ideas for some of that other stuff. But yes, memberships and super chats now available here with Couch Potato Diary. And I cannot thank you all enough for the support to get us to that. I was joking with my wife before, like, the channel, there's always been a little bit of growth, and it's been enough to kind of keep you tantalized by it. But now that like things have really taken off over the last little bit, you kind of start to see like, oh, I actually wasn't close before. But now with the support of you guys, it's been unbelievable. So I cannot thank you enough for how much you have supported this channel and done everything here with us here on Couch Potato Diary. So thank you guys so much for all of that. Also, if you are watching this, again, we got the super chats and everything. Also, hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment. Whatever you guys want to talk about, throw them in the comments, whether it's something you like from the video, something you'd like to see from the channel, something you don't like from the channel. I can take all of it. Let me know all of that in the comments, and hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know the next time we are going live. I do just want to say, because missed the last couple of weeks, want to make it up to everyone. So we're going to have some form of stream every day this week. Tomorrow we're going to be back on Twitch doing the video game stream. It'll be after Raw and everything like that. So we're going to do WWE 2K25 with the My GM mode. We're going to take WCW to the top. We're going to keep that up. And then Wednesday, back here, 10 a.m., we're going to be doing the live show once again. So there's going to be streams on YouTube and Twitch throughout the week, as I just want to apologize for missing the last couple. Busy with, the cat and with ball hockey nationals here and everything like that. So live streams every week, Twitch and YouTube with Couch Potato Diary.